Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. I'm so happy to see so many faces that I recognise from our general election campaign in July as well as in February as well, when George won his seat. I've been struggling in the last few days watching what's been happening on the world stage with the Epstein files and the kind of deprivation of the human spirit. And at the heart of all of this deprivation is the Zionist state, their security apparatus. They have used blackmail, compromise, and they have laid the groundwork for a future that is so heinous and so evil that we have sat here and watched what's happened to Gaza. And if you think Gaza is the end of it, I can promise you it's just the start of it. What they've done in Gaza is beyond belief. And the reason I sit here today is because of Gaza. I joined on the 25th of February the Workers' Party to come up and support George in his campaign because I saw George Galloway as the only person that's standing up for Gaza. He had a full-throttled attitude against what was being done in Gaza, whereas other people are trying to be nice because they want to, make sure they don't upset the wrong Zionist in power, whereas George was someone who's unequivocal in his support for the Palestinian people, as he has done so for the last 50 years. He was friends with Yasser Arafat in Lebanon, in Beirut. He went there. That's why I support George Galloway. And that's why I feel sick to my stomach that he didn't become your member of parliament again. And I'm going to say it here now, that at the Rochdale general election, we were robbed. Much in the same way at the council race that took place, they took some paperwork and said, oh yeah, that's for someone other than who the voters were for. Same thing. Tell me, what has Paul Ward done for you lot? Has he put Rochdale on the map? Has he actually, do you guys feel any sense of pride the way you did when George was there? George stood up in Parliament, and when he spoke, every single one of his questions had millions of views across the Parliament channel. When Paul Ward opens his mouth up, do you even think or say to yourself, that's my MP? You could not have got a more useless human being in comparison to George Galloway, and you were robbed. You were robbed by this Labour Council and their staff, and I need you, every single one of you, in Bury, Oldham, Rochdale, Birmingham, and make sure you count every single vote. Do not rely or trust the staff that work at these Labour councils to do you right, because they never will. They don't want to see any change. They want to carry on business as usual. And business as usual for them is making sure they bow their head towards Tel Aviv and let a genocide take place and put every single person in this room to feel the shame that they do, that I do, that I live in Britain in 2026, and we have done nothing for the people of Gaza. We've done nothing for people that deserved our help. People turn around and say, like, why are you talking about Palestine? Because it is the most important thing, that these people are showing us their power that they're able to get away with. This is the power of the Zionist state. This is the power of paedophiles who are in charge of running the British state. They have compromised our nation, our government, and we have become the supporters of a genocidal government. So I need you all to make sure you go out there and you fight for the Workers' Party, fight for what you know is right. And you know what's not right is a bunch of racists in Reform and a bunch of complicit people in Labour who've given up their vows to do right by the working class or the people of Britain. Wake up. It's time to stand up and do your job. And if you've got extra money, we need it in the Workers' Party. We need your support. Thank you very much.